now I've gotten caught up on the Rivers of London novellas. Now it's time to get around to the next proper novel, Stone and Sky, with Peter Grant and company going to Scotland. I'm going to do my best to not interject with a bad Scottish accent. I'm not going to try to interject with a good Scottish accent either, because I can't do a good one. But in any case, I'll try to keep the spoilers down a bit, because this is the most recent book in the series as of this recording. But in any case, Stone and Sky basically brings most of the characters from the Folly to Scotland. Initially with Abigail and Nightingale, which I just realized those characters, while their last names are spelled differently, they do kind of rhyme. Investigating some sheep killings caused by some kind of large cat-like cryptid, while Peter chaperones his dad and his band on a jazz tour of the Aberdeen area with his mom and Beverly, and Peter and Beverly twins coming along as well. However, any mystery fan, when he said, oh, our character is going on vacation, they know that murder, or at least some other form of crime that they will have to investigate, will follow. And thus this is not just a busman's holiday for Nightingale, it ends up becoming a busman's holiday for Peter as well, as a potentially Fae-related being and turns up dead in the bus shelter, and the Aberdeen police follow Falcon, by which I mean Weird Bollocks protocol, and call Peter. From there, the case runs into government oil industry collusion and corruption. That's not much of a spoiler. The first line in the book is Peter's saying, I swear this didn't have as much, there was a minimal disruption of the North Sea oil production. Also the Scottish independence movement, and willingness to bend human rights laws to the point of breaking in the name of Scottish self-sufficiency, international wizards, which has been an ongoing theme of the past two books, and also the differences between Selkies and merfolk. In all, a pretty normal case for the Folly, although I suspect Peter would have preferred an actual nice quiet vacation. Point of view of the book shifts between Abigail and Peter, with Peter's chapters being more conventionally titled, while Abigail's having the what Abigail ellipses structure from her novella. As I listen to the audiobook, the way this plays out is that Peter's chapters are read by Colden Holbrook Smith, who has been the recurring voice throughout for the entire series so far, while Abigail's are read by Siobhan Marks, who also narrated what Abigail did last summer. The split is a little odd, particularly with how character voices are handled. This is less as an issue with Nightingale. Both characters do the voice differently, but Nightingale is more consciously talking to Abigail differently for reasons of her own personal life events that have happened since her last book. However, it's more of an issue with Peter's mother. Culbert's narration sticks with a West African accent for her, while Siobhan's sounds more Caribbean, which makes for a bit of whiplash going between chapters, because oh wait, this is supposed to be the same character I'm hearing between the two versions. Now, for the characters themselves, this is definitely a story about reestablishing their places in the world. Nightingale is now not just Peter's teacher, but Abigail's as well, and has become something of a grandfatherly figure. Not just a magical mentor, but a life mentor as well. Just one who can also can and has in the past previously fucked up some Tiger tanks. Peter is now a dad with the responsibilities that come with that. So the recognition that he can't just go gallivanting into danger the way he has in the past few books, because he has responsibilities to his family. But he's also the person responsible for, in a lot of respects, crafting the new shape of what British magical society will be in England, in the currently United Kingdom, and how that interacts with other countries. And with Abigail, not only does she a young person growing up in Britain with magic, who's learning magic, she's also the next generation. She's not as involved in setting the course as Peter is, but she's close. If anyone gets real short shrift here, it's Beverly. She does take an active role in this investigation, but we never get a sense of her interiority. She never voices out, speaks up what she thinks about what's going on. I do hope that if we get another novella with a different POV character, like Beverly is right next on my list, followed very shortly by Sarah Galeed. Now, the exploration of the Scottish demi-monde is fun, with a good sense of how the similarities and differences between what we know from London and how things are in Scotland. And I also appreciate how the way the book conveys that how a reliance on an extraction-based industry, whether it was coal mining in the past and North Sea oil now, can lead to institutional corruption related to it. It's also fun having the story be set kind of Highland adjacent. Either, depending on the map, it's either in the Highlands or kind of skirts the edges of them, giving a, should this ever get a live action adaptation, scenic locale without doing any of the cliches of a rural, isolated Highland location. I love this book, and I'm very intrigued with how things are going to go from here, and I do really hope we get a TV series eventually. And also, this did even more made me hope that Peter gets to meet Tobias Winter in Germany at some not too distant future point. Links to where you can pick up the book will be in the doobly-doo. I do recommend getting it through there, any of those places. I have Amazon and non-Amazon options. They all help support the site, or support my blog, support the show. And I do really recommend picking this book up. I will admit this is not the best jumping on point to the River series here, but it's a good place to go. It has less heavy baggage behind it than, say, like False Value or even Amongst Our Weapons did. There's no Leslie May. There's no getting into like the big history of the folly in this book. And so I think it's for a decent jumping on point here. Not the best. It's always good. In this case, it's definitely worth going back to the beginning, but if you're going to jump in at the end and try to make your way forward as you go from the last book, this isn't a bad place to come in on.
Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please like and subscribe. And also consider backing my Patreon. Patreon backers get episodes up to 1 week early of this show and any future Let's Plays. Also, please consider backing my Ko-fi. Toss me a few bucks also helps support the show, and it's not a monthly obligation or anything like that.